Good morning, traders. I'm Dan Pavilonis, Senior Market Strategist here at RJO Futures. I'm here to talk about the currencies. First, I want to discuss what we saw yesterday with the horrible GDP number that came out. It came out much worse than expected. We were already expecting a bad number. The expectations were negative 1.6. We came out negative 2.9. That's actually a 5-year low. It shocked the market to a point where it kind of convoluted in a way where once the market digested this bad news, it started looking at what the reaction from the Fed might be. So right now we're seeing this trend of tapering, and because the economic data is deteriorating enough to the point where GDP actually drops down to negative 2.9%, it may mean that Yellen starts to back away from tapering. She could stop, she could slow down. Another avenue she might take is actually ramping up QE. From the levels we're at right now, we're starting to move it forward, because from what we've seen a couple of reactions since the taperings began. We've gotten to a point where we went unlimited QE to a point where it started to create a deflationary aspect in the market. I think the Fed realized that and started to taper. We started to see inflation. Inflation numbers started to get back to normalization. And now what we're seeing is deteriorating economic data. My thoughts on this are actually that it has a little bit to do with Russian trade, and also has to do with what's going on in Ukraine and now in the Middle East. I think these are all variables that have actually impacted the U.S. economy in an adverse way. But also looking on the other end of the spectrum, we may look at things like deflation starting to turn into inflation, rising other prices. But getting back to the currencies, I think going forward, if we do see deteriorating economic data, we might see more QE in the future, and thus lowering the value of the dollar. If the Fed wants to continue on the pace that it's at right now, I think long-term perspective of the dollar index is that it actually strengthens. The euro should theoretically, because of that, weaken. So those are my perspectives. If you have any questions, feel free, give me a call. Dan Pavilonis, Senior Market Strategist, RJO Futures. Futures and options on futures may involve substantial risk and may not be suitable for all investors.